Good morning. Got a few repair jobs today. The first one was from making the buttons. This button's been knocked and isn't lined up, so we're going to straighten that up. Then we'll be looking at a servo controller whose power coil has come dislodged. And finally we'll be looking at a multi-panel whose input capacitor has blown. So first of all, this, I think what I have to do here is slacken off both of these and then I can realign it. So I am aware that I have it on an anti-static mat and then on a piece of wood, which is not anti-static, but that's because I'm going to use heat treatment. I don't want to melt anything. So that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Let's just tin the iron and see if I can apply a little bit of corrective force to this. Oh, that was easy. Take the stress off both. Clean that iron again. Apply a little bit of downward force here. Settle them in. Great, well that one was easy. So that can go and get packed. Right, this is a loose coil. I think for that I'm going to use a hot gun. It'll take a while to heat as it's quite a high mass component. Actually, you know what? Let me try the iron while we're waiting. The problem is that the coil will sink all of the heat, but we'll give it a try. See if it can declare it. Oh, that was easy. Good. Right, let's run that. Run that. Okay. So here is the new one. Here is the old. The old one has it's a bit dislodged and displaced. So probably that was rough handling of some sort or dropping, maybe in the post. Has it been dropped? Doesn't look like it's been dropped, but I think it would be a shock load to break that. Right. In the bin with that. So I'll just tin this if I can. Let's try it. Will it take it? Yep, good. I've got this on the hot gun on standby. In fact, I think that's better now. It'll apply a more even. No, I'm going with the hot gun. I'm going to be in the way now, aren't I? But it is what it is. It's brought the overall temperature up. Right, now let's try with this. It seems to have flowed nicely. Cool the hot gun down, and then I'll put this back on the test rig and we will return it back to the customer. This is a multi-panel and the input cap's blown. The processor's running, everything seems to work so far, but if the input cap goes, that's a sure sign that it's been exposed to a higher than normal voltage. I normally just snap these off and then dig away at the base. I don't think there's an easy way to retract it. So let's hack away. Hopefully I don't break the tracks. Is it exposed? It just gives me access to the pins. Or tantalizingly close access. Not quite there yet. Let's hack it a bit more. Okay. Okay, one pulled, and the other one, no. Keep hacking. I can see the pin. There we go. And now I can get to the base of the capacitor to desolder it, I hope. Famous last words and all that. Good. If you try and take the capacitor off as a single unit, you either have to put a lot of heat into the board and risk dislodging other components, or I end up breaking a track. I don't want to break a track. So found this method gives me the best success. Let's re-tin that. Good. Let's find a replacement capacitor. Back in a sec. There's a replacement. So we just need to, okay. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. Letting it soak the heat. Oops. I think we're done. Okay. Let's clean that up a little bit. Right, so now we'll test the servo controller and we'll test the multi-panel. In fact, it'd be a good idea if I'll show you how I test a one-off multi-panel. So I'll go and get my test kit and see you back here in a second. So we'll start off with the servo controller. I'll just attach it to the rig. Oh, there's a bent pin. It was sent to me returned in a jiffy bag. So if you stick them in a jiffy bag unprotected, things get broken. Straighten the pin, drop this on, drop the switches on. I've really got to, there's another bent pin. I've got to update this test rig. These lines are getting a bit worn now, so I think it'll be a good project to just create some new connectors with new lines. It's one of those jobs I've been putting off forever. But you can see here some of these pins, like this one. Here it's actually split through the side of the plastic. It's been used that many times. I think they're rated at 100,000 connections. Well, then I guess I've done more. It wouldn't surprise me. Connect the power. There's the power circuit that is being tested anyway. That had the coil replaced. There we are. Power's on. Well, that doesn't look right. Oh, I know why. I bet I know why. I bet it's because the test rig battery is running out of juice. There's an easy way to test that. Connect it to another power source. And I'll put that on charge. What could possibly go wrong? Let's see if it behaves the same now. Oh, it does. Okay. Because I can't switch the power independently. Let's go back on that line. So 1.11. Do you know what? I might just replace that for the customer. I shall look up when it was bought. If it's within the warranty period, I'll give them a new one. That's the servo's worn on that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just reset the unit. Battery reset. Okay, happy with that. And we'll just test the network port. And the easiest way to test the network port is to connect it to another device. So I'll just connect that here. If I sound a bit sleepy, it's because it's early in the morning and this is the first job of the day. So I've had one coffee only. I need to go down and get another 3. Yeah, that's working. So I'm happy with that. In fact, the reset has cured a lot of ails there. Now we're good to go. Okay, that's a pass then. After a couple of goes. Good. So change the coil for the power supply. It's solid. That's not going to go anywhere. Right, finish with this rig. Right, for the multi-panel, life is a little more complex. First of all, let's hook up some power. And the reason I say it's more complex is we'll test every input and every output on this, and that means feedback bus, LED expansion bus, switch expansion bus, and so on. And it takes a little bit longer to put together. So first of all, let's give it some power, see if it runs. Master on, run light flashing. That's good. Then we'll get this LED test harness, like so. And let's just get all the LEDs the same way. And I can do that by shorting the switch pins. Give it a test with wet fingers, nothing moves. See that? That's interesting, 13's moving. That tells me that resistor it's not happy with. Try that again. 13, yeah, okay. Well, there's a fault I found that wasn't reported. Take the power off and we'll look into that. So that would be this guy here, which looks okay. Change nozzle. And we'll get the wooden base. 13, okay. There's my tweezers there. Okay. See, it's worth testing everything. So I'm just heating the resistor and reflowing the solder around it. Maybe I should have let the hot gun get to temperature first. There it goes, it's flowed. Okay, let's test it again. Power on. Wet finger. No, it's good. Okay. A fix for free. Right, let's get the other components. So to fully test a multi-panel, we need this spaghetti. First of all, we need a second multi-panel, and it needs to be in slave mode. This is a or version 1, but I'm just setting slave mode now. That's in lever frame. Now it's in slave mode, and that's to prove that they're communicating. Then we'll get the old switch expansion with a test board, so that's 12 buttons on there, 24 buttons, sorry. So we'll connect that up to the bus, switch, data latch, clock, and power. It goes to the power out, so that's connected. Then we'll connect an LED expansion board, the old style. I'm testing the bus only, not the board itself. So we'll connect that to power, data. So that will go first of all into LED 1, and the power I can take from this board by daisy chaining it. Good, so if that works, yep. So now just by pressing a button here and seeing the lights change, I've proven that the switch bus is working and the LED expansion 1 bus is working. Now if I put it onto LED 2, it puts the bus onto the same address, so those LEDs and those are connected. In which case, if I just run this along, I should see all the lights change, and they've now gone all up to the top. And did you see the slave multi-panel tweak as well? Yeah, there we go. So let's put it back. And there we are, and now they've all gone off. On, off. And finally, the feedback bus. And the feedback bus, I've got 3 inputs that are shorted or closed. So I should get 3 inputs on the feedback bus. So I'll move the LEDs onto the feedback port, and I expect to see 3 light. If I see 3 light, then I know that the bus is working. So we'll just connect this to the network, and there's the 3. If I short another one, you'll see another light work. There. So that's tested, perfectly working, good to go. Hello! Today we're going to be making some switch expansion boards. This is the board that would connect into a multi-panel to increase the number of switchable inputs from 24 up to, well, in 24s up to 192. So I thought I'd bring you along this time and show you a little bit more of the process, what we go through. So I've not programmed the pick and place machine for the job or anything. You can see it all in its raw format. First of all, I want to take these DCC module stencil off. these are the stencils for applying the solder paste. So I need to find the one for this board. No, no, yes, no, that's LEDs, no, no, no. Hang on, talk amongst yourselves. No, yes, I think that's it. Let's do a check. Yeah, it's looking good. He said, famous last words. That's the one. So put these stencils back, don't need them anymore. Well, since making the last video, I'd like to report lots of drama, but there isn't any. It's been pretty dull. All the panels have gone out the door, so that was a huge load off my mind. The problem with the larger panels is I've got no ready-made boxes. I have to make them, so I make the boxes from other boxes of goods that have been supplied, and they're in, you know, these are 1 meter long, so obviously the box that I'm making it from has to be at least 1 meter long, and they go FedEx, so they get a super fast delivery, but it's a lot of effort to post. It's not like the Royal Mail where I can just click the button and job's done. Not complaining though, glad to have them. So I'm just taping that down so it's in a place that can't move. Can you see that? No, maybe. Okay, let's lower the camera. So it's on my little pasting board, and now I'll just fit the solder stencil over the top. I think these are made of steel. Stainless steel, it looks to me. You can get them in plastic, like a plastic film, but they don't last as long. Yep, that looks good. Get me tub of solder. Let's do a few and see what happens. I was just listening to my music on Spotify. I have to turn it off for filming, of course, otherwise I'll get a copyright strike. I think we were listening to Black Sabbath at the time I turned it off. The old ones are the best. Problem is I am stuck in the 70s. No accounting for taste, eh? Right, let's get 25 of these done. Apply it, wipe it off. Only the excess though. And then we should have a perfectly soldered board. Here. Can you see? Let's have a look. Got the camera the wrong side of the lights. Focus, there it is. So that's it with the solder applied. So I'll just go through them all. I could spin the machine up now, but depending on the mood it's in, it hasn't been run for 2 or 3 days, I'll have a lot or no spare time. So I'll take it easy, I think, take the lazy approach. Do all of these first. I mean, this board is a simple board. It's basically an input multiplexer, the 3 chips, a load of 10k resistors, which are the pull-ups for the switches, an LED, and some bypass capacitors. So there's not a lot to it. So the biggest job will be placing the 24 resistors down the top. I've started receiving components for my laser cutter. If you remember last time I mentioned I'd bought some upgrades. So I've got some of the bits of that arrived. Some bits not there yet, so I think that's going to be a slow project over the next probably month. I'm going to have to go to Machine Mart in Warrington and get some couplings for the compressor. While I'm there, I want 2 moisture traps. So I've got a compressor up here and a compressor down there, and the moisture trap on this is rubbish. I want to get a new one. I want a Y lead for the air hose. so that I've got one line at tank pressure for blowing panels off, and then I think on the other side I want regulated between 1 and 2 bar, feeding the air assist to the laser cutter. Whoops. With having the high pressure hose that's just been delivered for the laser cutter air assist, it will allow me to cut the wood without the scorch marks on the top. So they tell me. So I did notice if you cut slower, i.e. with a lower power laser, you seem to get a cleaner cut. So if I increase the volume of air flowing for the air assist, then I can steam through it. The most complex cut on a sheet of wood, I think, is the servo mount. There's a lot of work in that. It takes over an hour per sheet, so that'll be the next thing I test it on when that's done. But I've got a few trips to make yet, and I'll wait till all the bits come before we can have some fun in the garage. Because of COVID, it forced us to tweak our working practice. So on the days my daughter's here soldering, I tend to not be in this room, she's up here. And on the days I'm in here, she isn't. So I'll get these made today and she can finish them tomorrow. Well, so we've had a run on servos. I think we've done 500 servos this month, over. So that's left me in low stock. I've got loads more panic ordered. I've ordered another 2,000. Oh, I just had to pay the VAT as well yesterday, day before yesterday. That was fun. I know a lot of people can, you know, you've got this deferment option and all that with the pandemic, but I'm not deferred anything because you still have to pay it. So you may as well just pay it. For my daughter's wedding present, and I'm going back now to the beginning of COVID, I bought her and her husband a holiday in the same place we went to last, which was an island in the Maldives. And we booked it well over a year ago, paid for it and what have you, and the other day she had a £2,300 additional fee slapped on the holiday. And like, what? So she's rang them up to query it, and she's ended up getting a refund. So what's the most romantic thing I could do for them? Give them the cash. So we'll do that. So Sheila and I'll give them a load of cash. But I think the holiday company were bad to do that. But I suppose now that air travel and holidays will start up again, I think there probably will be a premium on it rather than the old days of discounts. So it's my opinion, personal opinion, that holidays will be at a premium for the next few years, whilst everybody wants to make up for lost money and, or should I say lost revenue. And also, you know, obviously there's a lot of pent-up demand now. So I'll probably be going on holiday in more than 2 years' time. I do like my little islands. They're great. You rock up and do nothing all day long. Wake up wondering how you're going to get through the day, and then it's night time. It's brilliant. Anyway, the last time I went, which was my first holiday in 20 years, we set the website to say that orders would be fulfilled from the date we arrived back, which was great. And it was nice to see, because I could see the emails coming in with the orders, that stuff was selling anyway, despite that. It just meant that when we came back just before Christmas, was it 2019? I think we were just really busy. Sheila with the Christmas preparations and me getting all the orders out. I think it took 3 days and I got everything out. And the only thing then, of course, is for Royal Mail to lose them all during the Christmas rush. They weren't bad, actually. I think they're pretty good. But shipping a tracked package isn't anything like putting a stamp on it and posting it. And the problem with tracked, of course, is I have to do tracked as a condition of my, well, risk abatement. I'm not prepared to take the risk of losing my buyer protection when I sell on the internet. So I ship everything tracked, and it's not an option. But so far so good. And I've been toying with the idea of just changing for domestic post, changing to a flat shipping rate. So it'll be one price, whether you spend £4 or £400. The jury's still out at this point. What do we charge? I think our minimum is £4.80 tracked. And it would, if it was a one-shot price, flat shipping rate, it would be, I would think, £6. So we'll go at £1.20. But that would also mean that, you know, the larger packages would also be charged £6 as well as the small. So some people will win and some people will lose, I suppose. I've just got to do the calculation and see where to set that threshold so that I'm not too out of pocket. At the moment, it's if an order is under 200, it goes second class tracked. If it's over 200, it's first class tracked. And if it's over 500, it's special delivery. And the uplift to first class and the uplift to special delivery, of course, I pay for that. I'm happy to pay for it. And the reason for the uplift on special delivery is because of a higher insurance value. So I think their minimum is up to £750. So you get, you might get a notification that says insured special delivery up to £750. And that's due to the insurance on the special delivery in that category. But that's only for purchases. I've also two other sort of shipping methods or payment methods. We added a collect in person, so you order it, pay for it, and then it won't charge you postage and you pick it up at a mutually agreeable time. So it's not don't turn up and collect it. It's got to be at a time, and it'll be at a time, not sometime in the afternoon. That doesn't work for me. And the other thing I've recently added is pay by phone. So you can buy your stuff, put it in the basket and click pay by phone, and then you can ring up and I'll take your card payment over the telephone. So if you're scared of the internet or just don't want to do it or whatever, then we can do it that way as well. Okay. There's 25 LED switch expansion boards. So I'll spin round so you can see the pick and place machine. I haven't turned it on today, so we'll see whether it works first time or I have to fight. I think that'll give you a reasonably good view there. Yeah, so put the board on, and then what I have to do is adjust the springs on this bed so that it doesn't move anywhere. I'll just do that. It's back off the Allen key, slide it up, lock it down. Same on this side. Oops. how to make a pig's ear. First get a pig. Okay, and that just means now that I can slide those in and out and it'll hold them securely. Energize, dunk. Okay, SMT. Start the machine, connect, open the camera, go full screen. Can you see the screen? Oh, you can a bit. Let's see if I can adjust that. Can you see the machine here? Yeah, okay, I think you can see just about as much as I can. So, file, open, and it's multi-panel accessory boards. And I've got lots of different boards on this. Switch driver 2. So if I test that, I'll move it to the first fiducial. And what the camera's done, I think you can see that. Let's move it out of the way. Camera's just moved it to the first fiducial dot. It tells me I'm on the right board as well, and it's found it. If I move to the second fiducial dot, and finally to the origin. And what I want to do is I want to move the origin slightly to the right by about 1 millimeter, maybe half a millimeter, just to make the alignment easier. There we go, PCB edit, reset the origin, CX, CY, okay. Right, now I'll go back to the fiducial. Now I'm going to bring the fiducial down a bit. And we'll set that, mark 1, CX, CY. If I put the camera on it, right on it, then it should be easier and more accurate to optimize it when the board's actually being processed. We'll see in a minute. X, Y, dunk. Save, home. So this has inputs, so it's going to take from this feeder the ICs. That's a vibration feeder. There's a little motor swinging a weight around. It all looks good, so let's start it. Compressed air. That helped, wouldn't it? I've done it before now, pressed the button and thought, why aren't the feeders working? And the lens is all clean. I'll tell you what, I'll give them a wipe. Down here are the two cameras that look up when it's holding apart. So I just give those a wipe. I once had it where it started to poorly align parts, and I spent ages trying to work out what was going wrong. And as a last resort, I cleaned the glass in front of the lens and it all started working. All right, let's see what happens. Wish me luck. Fiducial. Fiducial. It's happy with that. Pick a nozzle. It's placing the caps. Got the LED. Okay, well I can see the LEDs want to go up a bit, so I'm going to stop it. Home. They're slightly down, so I'm just going to realign those parts. I think, was it just those? Yeah, it's just those. I'm just going to push them up a bit. So that's going to be, this is going to take 24 edits, so it'll be a while. Hang on. So if I go to the first one, if I tell the camera to go to the part, you probably can't see it here, but for the solder mask, the board, the resistor is probably about half a millimeter down. So what I'm going to do is give it a clunk up and then teach it the new position, CX, CY. I've got to do this for all the parts. Camera, and we go up. That went up 2. Let's put it back. Camera to part, up 1. When you are first doing a board, you import a file from the CAD software, and it gives you the location of all the components on the board. So you have to program it, like, you know, from nothing. But you do have to tweak them, and I usually find I have to tweak a bit. But over time, and this is a board I haven't made for a while, everything, you know, drifts or goes out of tune. Camera to part, up 1, learn. Camera to part, up 1, learn. Camera to part, up 1. Did that happen? Camera to part, up 1, learn. Camera to part, up 1. I love it when people ring up to order. Did I knock the camera around? I think I did. Caught it on my there you go, on my chair. Okay, so we've done that one. 218554. That's the critical size, is it? Let's try this one. Move camera to part, up 1. Did that happen? And then teach. CX CY. Yeah. Move camera to part, up 1. CX CY. I'm tempted to just edit the numbers by hand. That one. CX CY 218554. Put that in the buffer. Copy. Okay. Next one. 21. Paste that. Might be a bit quicker. Paste that. This will all go terribly wrong now, of course. Paste that. Paste that. Paste the new coordinate. I'm just changing the vertical. Uh, 24 of these to do. Can I edit in place? No. Okay. There we go. Save that. Rehome it. So we've placed of those 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that should be the first new one. Yes, it is. Start mounting here. See what happens. Check the fiducial marks again and the level. That looks great. Oops. I'll let you see in a minute when it's placed the board. I actually think I've been meaning to do that for ages. It's the height of idleness. Two to go up there. Good. So it's taking from the vibration feeder. Okay. Take that out, put the next one in. Hi.
It's me.
Yes?
Got bad news.
Oh. What's up? I'm bringing... Is she, oh, great. Okay. I could pick her up. Okay. All right. Oh, has it? Okay. Let me know when she's here. Upstairs, up top. Come and no, I've been up top. Come and visit us with a coffee, please. Bye. Bye. Bad news. My granddaughter's ill, so she's getting picked up from nursery, and she's coming here. Right. Here's the pieces we did on the first board. See if I can show you what happened. Just wait for it to focus. So you can see on the first ones, they're just down a little bit. The first 6, and then I adjusted it, and now they are absolutely central in the pad. So that should be good to go. I can just move those first 6 up a little bit. There you go. Looking good. And it's off. Well, I was expecting more trouble from this, but it seems to be working. The chips in the tubes, you just top up the vibration feeder, slide them in. The other one, last one in. There we go. Right, so I've moved the camera around. Now it's right in my way. If I can work around it, you'll be able to have a good view of what's happening. Fiducial 1, fail. Why did it fail? Because there's dirt on it. Great. Let's have another go. Nope, not happy. It's not quite making a circle. Just get all that muck. No, it's not muck, it's residue. Let's try it now. Better. That beeping was a placement error, so it corrected it and replaced the part. One off, another one on. Oh, it's so awkward here. Right, I'm going to move the camera after this one and give you a different view. Just before I move you there, I'll change the view like so, and you'll be able to see the nozzle cameras, or the upward facing cameras looking at the nozzles as it figures out where the part is on the nozzle. That's this thing here, you'll see it move in a second. So now it's going for the nozzle, pick the part, and there. And the reason there are two is there are different different beam widths, different camera lens. I think one's 4.8mm and one's 3 point something. Just gives a wider field of view. So for an IC or something, bigger parts, it tends to use the one on the right, and the smaller ones it uses the left. Nearly done the 24. Change the head or nozzle, and there it goes on the other camera. Alright, let's look at that from the computer perspective next. I feel like an expectant father watching this machine sometimes. Oh, we need some more of those. Good. Another one on. Load this. So vibration and gravity to feed that. Depending on the mood I'm in, I like to come up here and shut the world out really and just clunk away all day long. So the oven's on, the first 10 boards are in the oven. So I'll do one more board like this and I'll move you back in and let you see the PC screen. So it's looking at the fiducials. Here's the dot. This is the camera vision system. This is what we see, the wide angle. And then it's analysing each part from the bottom camera, and that's what it sees, and then it will calculate the offset to drop it down to compensate for all circuit boards being in a, well, slightly higgledy pace. And that's what's just come off again. So on this board there's 24, about 34, 35 components that get placed. Okay, well that's running. I'll move the camera now and let you see the PC. So you're looking at the PC screen now. The fiducial alignment is happening here, and now it'll go off and place the components. So this is the wide field camera. This is what the bottom camera looking up sees. So when the head picks a component and places it here, it switches quickly. So there's 3 cameras on here and they're constantly being switched. And that's showing you what the computer vision is seeing, and it's using that to calculate its offset. And this line here is the part number it's on, and it shows here how long, so far 35 seconds, it's been running that job. See the pins of the IC. Board done. Swap the PCB. And we're off again. Fiducial, happy and place. So it's finished that board now, it's putting the head back, and you can see here it's taken 1 minute and 17 seconds to make the board. So the oven's just finished. I'll take these 10 boards out and get another 10 in. Ow. Cycle time on the oven is under 15 minutes. And the great thing is, of course, it doesn't require any effort from me once they're in. 5 across here. And I think from the sounds of it, the pick and place machine wants some attention. Another board dropping in. So that's 20, another one there, so I've probably got 3 more to run on the pick and place machine. Another one there, there. What have we got here? Ah, lovely. Oh, something misplaced. Oh, problem brewing. LED, of course. What's wrong with that? Give it a hand and go. And we're back in the business. So with the boards, you can see what they've done. Have a look here. When it focuses. Focus. There we go. Nicely made board. Ready for hand finishing. Okay, well, I think you've probably had enough of a look around from now, so I'll join you at another opportunity.